Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Late Night Lake Show podcast. Today's your host Kwame, but hey, don't get it twisted. Ricky is still here, man. He's just taking a little bit of a different seat this time around. We also got Omar in the building. It's been a while since the three of us have combined to do a podcast. But today we're coming off the heels of a great win on Sunday. The Lakers took down the Dallas Mavericks, won 111 to 108 after being down in the second quarter by 27 points. They were able to decrease the deficit to 14 by half, come out with the win. But before we dive in, man, I just want to see how you guys are feeling today. Ricky, Omar, how y'all fellas doing?
Rejuvenated. Life got real dark yesterday for the first hour and a half, but I'm glad we are on the other side of things, really looking at a Lakers team that picked up probably the biggest signature win of the season. So excited about that. Obviously, we got to talk a little bit about the Bron injury and D'Lo's injury as well. But hopefully, because he finished the game and, he pop, no pop, soda, whatever. Hopefully he'll be all right going forward.
That's fair. Omar, how you doing?
Life has been life changing, right? Since Redacted has been out of our team and we've got depth. We finally have players that fit and make sense. I've been looking at life differently. It's been better nights. Like we've been blowing out teams, so I can go to sleep early on the East Coast. This obviously was a big test for us. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to dive right in.
I gotta agree with both of y'all sentiments. I have new life. I feel like I'm back. Like I can enjoy watching basketball again, and it's felt like it's been so long. But I love it. I love what we've seen so far. But let's dive in. So again, yesterday, Lakers take down the Dallas Mavericks 111-108. Anthony Davis had a signature game, man. 30 points, 15 rebounds, 3 blocks, 12 for 20 on the field. He was playing, man. AD looks like he is back. I know he had a little bit of time missed with the injury, but he's doing his thing. I really just want to start talking about AD though, man, because he really stepped it up that second quarter. Defense has been amazing, man. Offense, he's looking like he's getting his groove back. Jumper looks like it's going back to the bubble for him a little bit. Started to see some good things. He iced the game, had a great turnaround fadeaway over Luka. But Ricky, I want to start with you, man. Tell me about how you see AD. I know you're our big man specialist, so I'm gonna let you kind of talk about AD and what you saw in the game, what you liked, what you didn't like, and what he could do for us in this remaining stretch as we try to squeak into the
Yeah, I
playoffs.
just want to know what happened to the trade AD tweets that were starting to populate in the first half. Look, let's just start here, guys. It's okay to be frustrated with our superstars. Both Anthony Davis and LeBron James had not great first halves against the Dallas Mavericks, and you combine that with Luka kind of going berserk the first half. It did not look pretty as far as our hopes for that game, right? Second half, everything changed. The Jets turned on, and Anthony Davis was, behind maybe Vanderbilt, the focal reason as to why the Lakers were successful in coming back and picking up the W. I just, anytime I see Anthony Davis getting the ball mid post on the block, my lifespan increases 5 minutes. Like I cannot overstate how important it is to give this man space and depth in the post for letting him operate. We all saw the jab step, crossover, fake spin, step back into a jumper, copy, paste,
Filthy.
repeat. That, you want to talk about AD signature moves? That is Anthony Davis's signature move. And I'm sure we'll pull the clip up so everybody knows what we're talking about. But it's when I see him getting to his bread and butter, there's very, very, very few names on the basketball court that I would rather have, because even throughout this slow offensive stretch, right, he's been that dominant on the defensive end. He's about 15 rebounds a game now over his last 6 games, multiple blocks per game. You're not scoring on AD like that, man. We saw Christian Wood pick up a bucket on him on an ISO possession. Luka had a couple of cute ones, but that's just what happens when you take on the challenge. Anthony Davis is a deterrent at the rim. He is now a demon on the glass, and that is a lot of help and thanks to Jared Vanderbilt. And like you saw yesterday, when it's time to get cooking and he has the ball in position to score and it's not a 3-point attempt, oh God, the lake is dangerous, man. So I'm just appreciative that we are now getting back to AD signature performances on both ends of the court that we saw just earlier this year before he went down with injury. So happy to see that he's bringing that back.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. It's crazy to see how Anthony Davis's ascension looks when you have complementary role players so he can kind of get his game off. I mean, obviously he's been putting up the numbers all season long, but it looks that much better when you have other role players taking it off. He's not getting double teamed every possession. He has a little more room in the paint. So it just looks that much better now that our team's a bit more complementary. But Omar, let me get your thoughts on Anthony Davis and what he's been doing for us this stretch of games.
Yeah, just to echo what Ricky said, he's been, fantastic. The thing about him is, even if he's not getting his game off, he's still impacting the game in different areas, and he does it in a superstar way, right? Like, he's crazy on the boards. Him and Vanderbilt are monsters on the offensive glass. Just getting second, third possessions, getting blocks, steals, that's leading to transition points. I think we had 42 or something against the Warriors the other night. But he's just been a monster, and I think, to what's been echoed over and over again, it's just that added depth allows our superstars to take breaks here and there. And it's not to say, that's the expectation for them. It's just that they need to find their games within themselves, especially in a team construct. And when it's time for them to turn it on, they can. And Vanderbilt was kind of like, he put the battery on AD's back in the second half, and that was just, the game was kind of it swung in our favor, and we took over. But he's getting his jumper back, he's getting his footing back. I mean, everyone was ready to crap on him because he just came back from like a significant
He's
injury
still
that
dealing
he
with
already
it.
said, and I think it was reported, like he needs surgery in the offseason for that bone spur or something like that. So give him some time. He's definitely got his legs back. You could definitely see flashes of his, pterodactyl like athleticism on defensive and offensive end. So I'm just excited that these guys are starting to gel. We're starting to turn wins and in dominant fashions too, right? Even though the game didn't start the way we wanted it to yesterday, I blame that on the matinee, that we never play well in matinee games.
It's
Never.
true.
We always suck. But hey, we turned the corner around. Even shout out to Darvin Ham. Like, he's been empowering the guys and the
He
team. The
got his
team is
name
fully
back.
bought into, no matter what the game situation is, they're still locked in, and they're trying to, do whatever it is to chip away at the lead and play as harder and faster than the other team. And most nights that's going to help us out.
Yeah, no, totally. It has been great. Watching Anthony Davis play these last couple games has been amazing. And I hope he continues it. And as long as he's kind of captaining this ship, we walk in any gym and people got a problem, man. And we still got LeBron James sitting in the back as well. So it's looking good for us. It really is. But I'd be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about Jared Vanderbilt. So you guys both brought him up, and just his ability to affect the game in so many ways. Defensively, the hustle. He's kind of the grit guy. He'll dive on the floor. He'll do the nitty gritty stuff. But I mean, yesterday, 15 points, 17 rebounds, 4 steals, great defense on Luka. 8 of his 17 rebounds were offensive. This dude has a motor like nothing we've seen in this LeBron AD tenure, something that's been sorely needed. And I just love it. But Omar, give me a little bit of your take on Jared Vanderbilt and his impact and just how important he's been to the team's recent success.
Yeah, I mean, he's like literally a Swiss Army knife. He can do pretty much everything. He can bring the ball up. He can go end to end on defensive boards. His motor is, like, I think, unmatched. Like, I think I would put him next to Giannis in terms of like how relentless he is. Like, just going after the ball. Like, I watched it. I rewatched the game, and I literally just zoned in on Vanderbilt in that third quarter. This dude is a menace. Like, I can't. Like, the amount of cardio and stamina, and this guy is just like on, like, focused, like 100% locked into just getting after the ball, going and fighting through screens, using his length appropriately. Like, this is the type of guy that, like, I could have never imagined that we would be able to get, but we've been wanting a wing type of player that could fit and complement AD and LeBron, especially since it's just way too much to put it on LeBron and AD on the regular season to be asking for them to do all these things. But he's just perfect. He fits. He kind of is like a poor man's Draymond in terms of, like, just, fitting perfectly, getting boards, points here and there. That third quarter was special. I think he had 8 points, 8 boards, and 3 steals in like 6 to 7 minutes. That is a insane level of stretch of from a
It's
player.
like he's your perfect 1-2 punch as far as on in the post. You have your dominant presence in Anthony Davis that will deter shots. He will, clean up the glass when he has, not busy deterring shots. And I think Vanderbilt's a perfect complement because he fills in the opposite roles of a strong defensive unit. You saw him out there guarding Luka. Them fourth quarter turnovers that he was forcing was due to nothing more than basketball IQ and give a damn. He wanted it. And to see guys, go through games, go through, weeks of basketball where you're kind of wondering, like, damn, do you really like this job? Like, are you sure? Like, that both sides of the ball are kind of your responsibility. And this is a guy that really anybody that appreciates basketball will get behind. He puts his hard hat on, he goes to work, he he does all the dirty work, he will guard your best players, his name will not be at the top of the headline, and he might be left from the team bus when it pulls off from the arena, which is what we heard just happened with Vanderbilt after the last game against Dallas. But they caught up with him. They caught up with him, and he is just
What did Bron say? Did you hear
LeBron's
what
like,
Bron
yeah,
said?
Vando's still he's still hustling. Vando's still hustling.
He's still
So, I mean, it's clear that he's going to quickly be a fan favorite. And, another fan favorite of ours, Austin Reeves, he was just as much of doing his damn job yesterday and every sense of it. So now that you see that the Lakers have multiple guys that are in this ilk, you have Reeves, you have Vanderbilt. You don't have a guy like Patrick Beverly, who technically fits that prototype. They just shrunk him down 7 inches. You have guys that have the size, the IQ, and the give a damn. And you have multiple of those players. And that, I think, is the difference between wins and losses, obviously, like that. And it's that energy, like you said, Omar. It is that electricity that you put back into your lineup when you force a turnover after you just picked up a basket. You're like, oh shit, okay, well now this could be a 4 or 5 point swing in 20 seconds like that. Let's keep building. And the Lakers exactly did that. So game ball, while AD has the headline, definitely goes to Jared Vanderbilt because he is the perfect glue guy for Anthony Davis, in my opinion.
I would agree totally. He has been such a dominant force. And the best part is like he doesn't need the ball in his hands. You don't need to call plays for him, but he makes sure to make his impact felt defensively. Like you guys said, hustling, jumping in the way of passing lanes. Like he's just everywhere. On rebounds, he crashes relentlessly. And again, those are the beautiful things. A guy that doesn't need the ball, doesn't need a play call for him, but will still, find his spots and play off the guys. Like just a really, really smart basketball player. And I'm very glad to have him in the purple and gold. But we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk about LeBron and D'Lo's injury concerns and the next couple games in our schedule. Late Night Lake Show. We'll be right back.
The Late Night Lake Show podcast is sponsored by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the best legal way to play daily fantasy player props in states like California, New York, Texas, and more. You pick 2 to 5 players and an over-under on their projections, and you can win up to 10 times on any entry. The best part is you can mix players from different sports. You could take the over on LeBron combined with the under on Mahomes in the same entry. Prize Picks is the easiest way to play daily fantasy because it's just you versus the projected numbers. Just use our promo code LNLS and any deposit you make can receive 100% instant deposit match up to $100. So go support the brand and go win you some money. It's the best of both worlds. Again, use our promo code LNLS.
Yeah, guys, the injury bug. We cannot seem to avoid this injury bug.
Even Vando got a little banged up yesterday, man. That one kind
man.
of stung. I was like, ugh. I mean, obviously the LeBron thing, but we saw if Mr. Hustle Man is down now, it's like, all right, come on, man.
It's different. hopefully the new depth added to the team can, curb some of the production loss if LeBron does have to miss time. Hopefully it's nothing more than a game or two here or there. Hopefully we can get D'Lo back as well. But it's tough, man. It's tough when you have to deal with injuries to your stars, and we're trying to make a run in such a key part of the season. A lot of games right in front of us that are really close, teams that are right ahead of us in the standings. Some teams have been doing the nation's work for us on our behalf, man. They've been taking some L's, helping us climb the standings. Gonna need a little bit of more help as we kind of close out. But
wait, before you go,
want to talk to
before
you
we go
guys.
to the injuries
Oh,
real quick,
yeah.
I just have to give a shout out, just a personal shout out on Late Night Lake Show. Danny Ainge, thank you for your contributions to the Lakers' success this season. We've done business with you multiple times this season, and while the Patrick Beverley acquisition necessarily wasn't as fruitful, it did turn into Mo Bamba. Jared Vanderbilt, Malik Beasley, hell, D'Angelo Russell, we got to thank you for that too, my man. So, hey, Danny, it's still fuck you, but you're good in my book, man. It's one of them Michael Jordan, Larry Bird type of situations. Appreciate you. Sorry, Kwame.
You bitch,
Right.
fuck you.
Yeah, right. Danny Ainge has done great favors to the nation of Lakers, so we gotta really give his flowers. Patriot. Yeah, man, what a supporter! Gotta love having having that kind of support in this time of the season. But yeah, just want to talk to you guys about the injuries we have. We had D'Lo who had a freak ankle sprain, just trying to inbound the ball against the Golden State Warriors. Like, man, tough early in the game too. And then yesterday we have LeBron. Foot, ankle, something. Said he heard a pop. May not have heard a pop, like Ricky already said. Soda, right. Pop, whatever you want to call it. Hoping he's gonna be all right, but he's able to finish the game and still dominate. I mean, didn't necessarily dominate from the perimeter in, but man, he whipped out the toolkit and started playing in the post and giving us some nice buckets. But Ricky, just kind of talk to us a little bit about D'Lo and LeBron's injury and how that can impact us ahead, and obviously our new depth, and how can we kind of curb this? Still got Anthony Davis, still got Malik Beasley, Austin Reeves, these guys. What can we do to try and keep the ship afloat if there is any time missed by these guys moving forward?
Yeah, I think first and foremost with the D'Lo injury, I think you saw that you saw the kind of lack of synergy right off the bat. And even D'Lo is obviously new to this lineup, but how quick he adapted in playing with Anthony Davis and LeBron James. It's a lot different than Dennis in the starting lineup trying to do those similar things. Like, I think the Lakers' first play of the game ended up in a Dennis missed three. So correct me if I'm wrong there. But it just, and of course, like, D'Lo isn't the greatest 3-point shooter in NBA history, but it just is that feel, that energy, kind of that fit is a missing piece of that starting lineup, and the Lakers ended up getting out to a pretty slow start. Anthony Davis will again reap the benefits of getting D'Lo back into the lineup. I hope that it's one of those things where if LeBron does miss time, it's kind of just a swap. We get D'Lo back, we miss LeBron, and then we can at least kind of tap into that pick and roll relationship between D'Lo and AD for the Memphis game, and then turn around for the OKC game, and hopefully we'll get LeBron back. But yeah, man, Bron, he getting up there, dog. Bron's starting to get up there. Bron's falls starting to feel a little bit like AD's falls these days, fellas. Like, Bron go down. Yeah. I'm not saying it's the last ride, but shit, he taking longer and longer to get back up. And yes, 9 times out of 10, it does result in a shoe relacing and tying them tighter and getting back up and still being LeBron James. But if you did a stopwatch on the time it took between LeBron falls and him tying his shoe and getting back to dominating, that's getting longer and longer. And him, I'm not calling LeBron dramatic, but I think everybody can agree that he can be a little dramatic. And, yes, you heard a pop, you repeated it. I thought he was saying that he was cramping, to be honest with you. But, a pop is a lot more serious. But nevertheless, finished the game, got to effing work in the post, which I don't understand why isn't a bigger tool in LeBron's bag. Kwame, you brought it up before the show. LeBron working out of the post is kind of nodding back to his Miami days. And I think everybody kind of saw that that would end up being the natural progression of LeBron James as he ages. He would start going inside. Yeah. It seems like LeBron is moving more outside with the number of 3-point shots that he's getting up. But man, his step throughs, his fakes, his fadeaways, he can do that in his sleep.
Beautiful.
He's had that in his bag for damn near 12, 13, 14, 15 years now. I want to vote for more LeBron post touches. Can we start working that into the system, Coach Ham? I'd be excited about that. But yes, hopefully we'll get LeBron James back soon. I'm not too entirely concerned. But when he does, let's just get everyone some more post touches across the board. Everybody work out the post. F it. What you think, Oh?
Yeah, I mean, I think I agree with everything you said. I think we talked about this in the last episode. I wasn't here, but Rui can just swap in perfectly if LeBron is going to miss time. And I think it would be smart for us to maybe sit him out that game against the Grizzlies, because that Thunder game is really important for seeding purposes and tie-breaking purposes. So if we want to get into that situation where D'Lo gets in, and that's like his like ramp-up game against the Grizzlies, and then that OKC game, LeBron comes back, D'Lo's back, we have our full lineup, then that would make a lot of sense. But yeah, I think, LeBron likes to lean into, being dramatic and all that stuff. Like I even saw that video of him limping. Like who doesn't limp after playing 3 hours of full on like basketball and stuff like that? Yeah, I mean,
gotta embellish it, man. Gotta embellish it.
That's just LeBron. I mean, I'm not too concerned. I think he did say the pop thing. I literally think, you know how sometimes your knuckles crack or whatever? I think something just cracked. Like it was just the way it landed.
My knees pop every morning.
At first I was like, oh, maybe
rotate my ankle until it pops. So if that's what it was, I hope it was relieving to LeBron, because that's part of my morning routine.
Yeah, man. If he heard a pop and he didn't walk out the arena in a boot, I don't know about that, man. He was just walking in his shoe. I'm not
Kobe Bryant broke ankles commercial. You talk about he heard a pop,
right?
His shit just rotating in the air.
Yeah, just spinning in circles. That's what it'd be like. He heard a pop, but he was able to walk. He played the rest of the game and walked out the arena not in the boot. I think it's better than he made it sound.
Exactly. And most teams and most players and staffs like force players as a precautionary measure to wear a boot. So he wasn't even in a boot. So and he played through it and he seemed fine. I mean, like he didn't look as explosive, but it's probably his foot was bothering. But that post action that they were running with LeBron was definitely delicious. Like I want to see more of that for sure. And obviously helps that, his primary defender was Reggie Bullock, and he's just going to be,
Reggie Bullock
abusing
Anthony Davis too, man. And I'm just like, all right, if this don't end up in a murder scene every single time, something is definitely wrong.
Yeah. And I think the good news too, I think D'Lo warmed up or like ran warm-ups in Dallas, and I think he was okay, but I think if it was a playoff setting, I think he would probably push or force to play, or if it was like a more of a critical game. I really think I think he comes back for that next game against the Grizzlies, and then we'll have a puncher's chance in that game. We still got the depth, right, to make things work. I mean, we definitely have Grizzlies numbers these days.
Before we move on to the next topic here, I gotta ask y'all, if LeBron does have to miss the Grizzlies game, what is Darvin Ham's starting lineup? Ricky, I'm gonna go with you first. I'm curious what you think he
I mean, he's been using Rui as like the primary replacement for LeBron in the starting lineup. So if I just right off the top of my head, I probably lean that way. I also could see him just doing a Troy situation again, right? Like, or if D'Lo's back, not saying that he's going to if D'Lo's back, right, I think Darvin's very binary where he'll just scoot the positions up. So if I had to guess, I'm going to go, he's going Rui with Troy Brown Jr. taking up a 37% odds on the leaderboard. What about you?
So this is assuming D'Lo's not playing?
He's playing.
Let's assume D'Lo is playing. LeBron is out.
Okay. I think D'Lo will start. We got D'Lo, Beasley,
Vandy, AD,
Rui, Vando, AD. That would be my lineup, assuming D'Lo's playing. If D'Lo's not playing, then Dennis is definitely starting.
It's fair. I mean, honestly, maybe I'm just the pessimist. I still see the Darvin tweak out happening. So I'm going with, I think he starts D'Lo, Dennis, Malik, Vando,
come on, man,
AD. I think we're playing Ja. I can see him throwing Dennis on Ja. I mean, we saw it work really well against Kyrie.
They
Kyrie
may
had kind
throw
of a
Vando
nightmare
on Ja.
game. That's what the Timberwolves did in the playoff series last year, and it worked for the most part. There's a few exceptions here and there, but I wouldn't be surprised if Darvin went right back to Dennis, because it's like that's his breaking case of emergency guy. Like, he's hidden behind the glass. You just hit it with the axe when you need an emergency. You pull Dennis out. Ham loves Dennis, and I don't know. I don't really know why, but he really has a love affair there.
Dennis was pretty good last night. Like
He was.
one-on-one on Kyrie, like the ball
He
pressure he
was.
put on it. And obviously Kyrie missed a lot of open shots, but like he made him work for every shot attempt, basket, whatever it was. But yeah, I mean, he definitely has a love fest for Dennis.
Yeah,
So.
Ham loves his point of attack defenders. Can't say enough about that. But looking ahead to our next 4 games, I know we talked a little bit about it thus far. We have the Grizzlies, the Thunder, then we come back home for the Timberwolves. And obviously 2 of those 3 games are very, very important, the T-Wolves and the Thunder. The Grizzlies game, it's a good win, doesn't necessarily move them in the standings a ton, but is good for us. We'd like the win regardless, so I hope they go out there and try. But currently Lakers are sitting in 12th place. We have hopscotch the Oklahoma City Thunder. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has been missing, I believe, the last 2 or 3 games, but best believe he'll be making his triumphant return against the Lakers, just like every
We're gonna get
player.
that Shams coach notification.
Exactly.
Shea will be suiting up tonight after the 3-game absence.
He'll be back. We already know. But hey, right now Lakers are currently just 3 games out of the 5th seed, 2 games out the loss column. We can make some ground here, really kind of get up. The Clippers look like they're nosediving since they added some interesting players the last couple weeks.
Come on, man. They were heartbreak losses. They were heartbreaks, right?
Sure. Hey, we had a lot of heartbreak for a season and a half. So, hey, they can enjoy some of it. So, hey, let them drop and do us a favor as well. I wouldn't be mad. But Lakers updated playoff odds, guys. They are at a minus 135 that, yes, they make the playoffs, and a plus 110 for a no. So Vegas looks like there's erring on the side of caution. Lakers are making the playoffs. But tell me how you guys feel about these next upcoming games and just what the Lakers have to do to kind of secure these wins with the possible LeBron missing one, hopefully, but maybe even more, and what we can do to continue our trek. We're on a 3-game win streak. What do you guys expect out of these next couple games? I'll start with you, Omar.
I want Shannon to show up to the Memphis Grizzlies game, because whenever he shows up, we win. So, and I know it's a road game. So, no, like, on a serious note, I think the biggest thing, like, in watching Memphis Grizzlies games, is that Jaren Jackson Jr. has a really bad habit of fouling people.
Yeah,
and that really messes up the rhythm of their team and the flow of their offense. So if we continue to attack Jaren Jackson, and one thing that's underrated as part of adding D'Lo is he's really good at getting those cheap foul calls. Like, you're just kind of running in and you initiate the contact, you bump into the defender, and you still, like, you just throw it up and you get the free throws. So I'm hoping he plays. Even if he doesn't, that's, more importance goes on to AD to just show up and, show out like he's been doing. I expect a bounce back game from Beasley. I know he works hard on his craft to shoot.
Yes,
and
he
all
does,
that stuff.
and
So
he'll show it off too.
Yeah, he will. And I think that would be the plan of attack. Just keep attacking the big guys, because after that it's Brandon Clark and Tillman. That's literally their rim protection. I don't think they're gonna get Steven Adams by the time we face them. So if we can continue to attack the paint, I think we have a really good shot of winning that game.
Rick, let me get your thoughts.
Yeah, so Grizzlies, Thunder, T-Wolves, Warriors, Grizzlies, Raptors, Knicks, Pelican.
That's a big homestand too, right? After the
yeah, we get a 5-game homestand after Oklahoma City.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you're going to see the Grizzlies twice here. Work for a split, especially if LeBron's out. I think that should be the ideal. And then there's just must-win game after must-win game, fellas.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of at the point now where, what do we expect? We expect a win, because the other effect is the Lakers might be too far to come back. So the Lakers are streaking a little bit, right? We're running on a 3-game win streak. If we can get to 5 out of 6, right? If we could get to 6 out of 8 coming up here, we in the mix. We are in the mix because we are playing teams directly ahead of us. I was looking at ESPN.com. They had just released their power rankings, and they had let me just make sure I had this right, that this team was this high, and they had the Warriors 13th. The Golden State Warriors are 13th. Lakers are 19th in the power rankings. By the time we face each other again on what game is this? March 5th, my wife's birthday. Shout out, wifey. This could very well be
Right
for
there.
flipping of seeds in the
Yeah.
West. So a lot's going to change in these next few days, right? Fellas, we're going to record this time next week, and the Lakers could be sitting at 8. Lakers could be sitting at 7. Lakers could be sitting at 13, right? It's going
Yeah.
to be a lot of fun to watch this team continue to try to put the pieces together. And if they can build on what they did in the second half of the last game, especially potentially without LeBron James, and somehow find a win over this Memphis team tomorrow, the confidence level is going to shoot through the effing roof. And then watch the narratives change. Watch ESPN talking about
Yeah.
how dangerous the Lakers are. Why? Lakers beat the Grizzlies tomorrow without LeBron James. All hell's going to break loose as far as narratives go. And don't let them come right back and beat OKC. Whole lot of people who wish them dead and spit on their grave and peed on top of it are going to be talking about, oh, the Kings don't want to see the Lakers. The Nuggets may not want to see the Lakers. Nobody wants to see a healthy LeBron James and Anthony Davis with a strong supporting cast around them. Last time they did, what happened, fellas?
The whole West got 4-1.
It
Won a
was
chip.
not close.
Yeah.
So I'm
Not even close.
I'm hopeful that we can ramp up. Y'all remember in The Price is Right, the Yodeler game where he's going up the thing. You got to tell him when to stop. We are in the ascend of our yodeling, and if we get these 2 games under our belt between the Grizzlies and OKC, oh, they're gonna be hearing us from the Himalayas, my brothers. It's gonna get nasty.
I could agree, man. It's gonna get real nasty. We come out of this with a 5-game win streak. Is going to be the narratives are gonna be nasty. People, Laker Nation, we're gonna start victory lapping on people. It's gonna be ugly. If we start getting in the picture, it's gonna get ugly for you guys. So if you're not a Lakers fan, you guys are going. If you weren't already sick of us, you sure the hell will be if we sneak into these playoffs. It's going to be
Buddy,
bad.
they don't talk about the pick swap too much these days.
Yeah,
Pelicans
might want to keep their pick at this
Pelicans
point.
right there in the
What's the point?
standings,
They
man.
have
I'm kind
to.
of looking at the Pelicans like y'all kind of next. Y'all might want to keep that
Yeah.
pick. So this whole tank for Wemby
Might
shit.
want to hold it.
That ain't happening. They're free falling.
It's kind of crazy, man. How fast things change, man. But hey, here we are, and Lakers are doing great. We love it. And just got to kind of wrap up the season again. Like I said last podcast, I'm done with the talk. I'm tired of hearing everybody saying what they got to do. They just got to go out and do it. And we had a great win against a playoff team in the Mavericks. We have another opportunity against the Memphis Grizzlies, and having those 2 wins, like you said, is a shoot in the arm, a boost of confidence for the team. So I really hope they can get it done with or without LeBron, because that will just show how deep this team now is and how far we can go. But I'm excited, gentlemen, but should be good. I'll wrap it up here. So thank you all for listening. Make sure you follow the Late Night Lake Show on all platforms, everywhere where you get your media. We are there. You can find us. Make sure you follow this wonderful panel. Love to chop it up with y'all on the timeline. Make sure you follow all the Late Night Lake Show creators. Make sure y'all dive in the spaces. We're everywhere, man. And as we go on this run, y'all gonna want to hear from us. So like I said, man, we got some fun coming. For Kwame, it's Ricky, it's Omar. We'll catch y'all next time. Peace.